You know, I think Aphelion could take them out. You know, anything is possible. We have seen it. So let's see if that's going to happen as Garakuta kicks it off for Aphelion and coming in with the Hydra.
Interesting here. Oh, he's found the tornado trap pretty early on. With these super wizards, they are rotated in towards the Giga Poison, and the Giga Bomb wipes them out, Lady B.
Ooh, this, at least he was able to get the Town Hall taken down, secured that, but we still need to start funneling our way through and getting everything lined up. We drop in the loot. Little distractionary action to get more value out of this dragon so we can pick up just a little bit more, and of course taking care of the CC troops. This is actually going to really help with the heroes to ensure that they don't trigger this later on and we can get even more value out of them.
Absolutely. I remember back in the last chance qualifier, Garakuta did tend to attack first, and I also remember one of those attacks where it didn't quite go right at the start, but he was able to hold his nerve and get the 3-star. That is the main factor here. Burning a lot of time over to this right-hand side with the Lava Hound. He's now sending in the Hydra to try and speed things up, and he's still got all of his heroes left to use.
Yeah, and once these actually get going, they tend to fire up and burn away nice and speedy. But that's if he's got the pathing needed and keeps the dragons and drag riders working collectively together. Love the king here on the outskirts of the base, really helping out. But I noticed we have a very delayed queen in the mix-up and the royal champion trying to take advantage of many of these defenses being distracted.
I always like to see things out of the box. You notice the wall breaker across the left-hand side will allow the Barbarian King in, and now he can reinforce with the Archer Queen once the King is tanking. He wants the dragons and dragon riders to just rip apart the inside of the base, as they have done, but this compartment on the back end is huge. He needs to make sure the Queen ability and the Royal Champion ability are used at the optimal time.
Oh, and he's got an invisibility spell left over in the mix here, which is going to help out superbly for either the Queen or the Royal Champion to ensure they can get through this scatter shot and get as much value as possible, especially since the Royal Champ has actually clipped off that ability quite early.
I'm calling it. 3-star it is. He's nodding his head. He can start the celebration for the Japanese team. They were so impressive in the last chance qualifier, ripping apart MCES and QSFN, and they continue that impressive streak in this first matchup. It's always difficult attacking first, but Garakuta holding his nerve. 3 stars for Aphelion Esports.
The celebration here is incredible. I know these guys are at home, but we have a lot of the workshops going on. Getting to see the players so hyped, so excited for these wars is just truly a wonderful thing. And we've got Aphelion, who's actually new to the World Championship circuit, so this is some big moves for them.
It certainly is, and they're going up against probably one of the most experienced teams. I mentioned earlier in the stream, Tribe Gaming won the very first ever golden ticket. The Tompinai Empire roster, they won the second golden ticket under Team Queso. They ended up 3rd that year in the World Championships, top 4 last year, so really full of experience. But is it going to be enough against a team like Aphelion Esports, who are just on fire right now?
Yeah, it's tough to say because Aphelion came in with some impressive defenses that were surprising. I think notably their win over MCES. So Tompinai has to be wary about this. But we are kicking off with Machuo. This is actually interesting because Rigo Torres tends to be their first hitter in many wars.
He does, so I wonder if Machuo just basically found something or one of the bases that he felt confident attacking straight away with. We know he's very proficient with the Queen Charge, tends to use Queen Charge Lalo, but obviously switching that to the Hydra here. And this is interesting. It's kind of similar to the approach we've seen by Tribe Gaming in the last chance qualifier, where you Queen Charge from the opposite side of the Town Hall, hoping to avoid any of those traps, send the Hydra through with the Battle Blimp to hit across towards that top end at the end.
Yeah, and I believe they were reserving a lot of their kings as well to get a ton more power out of it, though this is a very nice section working in conjunction with the Queen, so we can force her along deeper inside the base, and the King's taking on a very valuable option here by taking down the scatter shot and an air defense right there on the outskirts. Pathing is all set and ready to go as the dragons work their way through with the Warden hanging on to this ability so he can clip that blimp in there.
Yeah, and I really like the Dragon Rider just across to the right. It was used to take down one of the Expos to relieve fire from the Queen. Now gets through to the multi. Battle Blimp approaching that Town Hall. He's frozen the area. There is the Tornado Trap with the Rage, but he should be good here. Pops it. What is inside? It is Yetis, so he's going to have to turn them invisible now. They go to the Town Hall, and it will indeed fall. But is it enough? He's got the Queen ability, the Royal Champion ability. It's getting close with that single target Inferno burning up.
But again, look what we get to see here, the invisibility spell being held to the very end. These are lifesaver spells. We often see these remaining towards the back end as a back pocket item. They really can get you out of tough situations, and the Royal Champ has already launched that Seeking Shield, no contact with the single, drops everything, makes it invisible, but the Queen would have to be through too many walls to get here, Judo.
Oh, the Royal Champion goes towards the Wizard Tower. He was hoping she'd go towards the single, but obviously goes everywhere. But can the healers tank this single long enough? It does go to the Royal Champion. We've got Lassie in the area as well. Will it be enough? They both fall, and the Queen has to go through the wall. How much health does this? Oh my word, there's a Seeking Air Mine as the Dragon Rider is approaching. Do not tell me. It's a 99%. Oh my word, the Archer Queen will go down. And just 1 percentage point is the difference maker.
Oh, this has to hurt to be this close to perfection, and he did everything possible that he could. But you know what, Judo? We have seen 99% coming back in teams' favors. This is actually, if they can hold some defenses, a blessing.
Well, the percentage is super high. I mean, when you're not 3-starring, 99's about as good as you can get, isn't it? So if they are able to get any type of defense, it means they have a good shot at leapfrogging the percentage. Remember, it is stars the first factor, percentage, then obviously attack time, but the percentage points is often the deal breaker at this high level. And 99% keeps Tompinai Empire in this, but clearly disappointed to be behind at this early stage.
Yeah, I think they wanted to come in with a nice, fresh start, and I think that's why we often see Rigo Torres. He's been in that pressure position, but Machiro handling it still very, very well. Let's see what CEO can do if he can follow up for Aphelion with another 3-star, and coming in with the Inferno Drag Riders. I think this is actually one of their highest hit rate offense strategies.
It is, and it's interesting that a lot of the players are mixing up what their typical and favorite attack strategies are, because SIO likes the P.E.K.K.A. Smash. We see him using that a lot, but we've got that safe route of the Battle Blimp across the Inferno Dragons, so we know it's okay up until the Town Hall area. There is the Rage. So far, no Tornado Trap, and it looked like just a free spell. I thought he was going to use, it looked like a clone spell, but obviously he doesn't even have one with him, so that would definitely be a secret move if he was able to use one and not have one.
But we have the extra space now to bring in the additional Skelly spell, which is really nice. This is a necessary factor for your Inferno Drag Riders. It does help protect against some splash, distracts, not only for the Inferno Drags and Drag Riders, but for the heroes as well, which is also a nice option here. King working on the outskirts, just forcing that ability, but taking the lead for the Royal Champion, who can dive deeper inside the space and reserve her ability to get clear through that single targeting Inferno.
Yeah, and you can see the skeletons from the skeleton spell were just continually spawning. Watch the one by the single target Inferno. It doesn't spawn them all together, so you get that long-term protection for your heroes moving through, and he's still got the Royal Champion ability, a freeze spell, with 1.5 minutes left over. How has he done this? Aphelion Esports are just on fire, and I can't believe the start that they have made. I knew they were impressive in the last chance qualifier, but again, a team like Tompinai Empire are at that top level. They are in the top few of Clash of Clans Esports. Aphelion Esports, 3 stars off the bat, both attacks. Couldn't be better for them.
No, and you know what? Aphelion Esports is this team that they're coming with a strategy that most players are asking, are Inferno Drags nerfed? Well, clearly not. You can use them right there just like that. And I think this really is their secret weapon, because a lot of teams are going to struggle to try and defend against this.
It all depends on what the teams build against, right? So that's always something that you're trying to defend, mainly what's in the meta. So if you can use something that's not quite in the meta. For example, like you said, something that gets a nerf, maybe you can actually outsmart your opponent because it still works. It's still viable, obviously. Maybe just not as successful as previous.
Yeah, maybe not as much, but that was still lightning fast, Judo, and that's about as strong as I remember seeing it. So they have definitely found the secret sauce. Oh, let's see what Rigo Torres can do. Coming up second, he knows he needs to pick up the 3-star now, Judo. He needs to get Tompinai in the game.
He certainly does. This would be 2 3-stars behind, but I mean, let's face it, they were so close in that last attack. I don't think they will let them phase them too much. And Rigo Torres has said they are more determined than ever. Despite their high finishes in previous years, they are giving everything. This is 3 years in the making. He's been working towards this goal. So he is laser focused. You can see on the right-hand side of the screen, dialed in. Archer Queen doing pretty good to mitigate the Tesla on that left-hand side, and he's got the pathing set up beautifully for her to walk in towards the multi and the Eagle.
Yeah, that Royal Champion going to be a solid push here as well, clearing things out, but we've got the split on the Rocket Loons here. This could hurt, but the Queen stays unfocused, and the Royal Champion actually pulled the distraction temporarily.
Yeah, had to turn them invisible to try and redirect the rocket balloons across. Raging the Archer Queen up now across this bottom area. Oh, finds a sinking air mine on the outside of the base. So sending another one in, but the healers should not go to that area. So should be pretty okay here. Oh, Eagle.
Healers getting targeted. Oh, this is not good. They've taken on damage, and they're coming in range of the multi-targeting Inferno. This is where we could lose them out. But the Stone Slimer taking the lead.
There's all of the red air bombs, so he knows the healers are fine. He just has to get this multi down, like you said. Does he use the freeze? He's holding on to it. He does not. The healers are pretty much down, but presumably he's got the value he wants from the Queen, knowing she's still got the ability.
Especially since she's now taking the front line for that scatter shot, so the Loons can sneak their way in. He's only got this one haste that's on the board. No freeze to hold this off. So the Queen needs to stand strong and get those Loons in there, Judo.
Oh my goodness, they beeline straight inside the dead area of the scatter shot. He's got balloons on the back end of the base for the Wizard Tower, and beautifully done here by Rigo Torres, going back to his roots with the Queen Charge La Balloon. 3 stars when they needed it most, making sure they are right on the heels of Aphelion Esports. If Aphelion slip up, Tompinai are here to take this war.
Oh, Rigo Torres coming in cool as a cucumber. Did you see that pose for him? That's exactly how he came in. He knew he was going to come in with a 3-star with that Queen Charge Lalo, which kind of brings him back to his roots. That's what we know him for.
Yeah, he did that back in 2019, 2020. I remember in 2020, they wanted to diversify a little bit, not use the Queen Charge Lava Loon. Maybe now they're just flipping it back to that area since people are not quite sure what they will use. But they make sure they catch up any slip up by Aphelion Esports and Tompinai Empire. 99%, that means they can catch percentage pretty easily.
Absolutely. This is a good start now. Strong from Tompinai, but they need to see the defenses coming in, and I know that Tompinai can bring in defense. We've seen it. They just need one. Let's see what Shoya can do, though. He's trying to keep the dream alive for Aphelion and make that move that Tribe Gaming made earlier today.
He's trying, and interestingly, Shoya said something that is kind of happening in these wars. He said he thinks they will do well and win this because they have the most momentum. And we kind of seen that from Tribe Gaming. We're seeing that early on here. This is his favorite attack strategy. Can he get it to work when it really matters? So far, not ran into any traps or bait up towards this top area. All healers protected. And he's actually used the wall breakers to allow the Queen outside of the base and back in towards that town hall.
Yeah, beautiful pathing for the Queen here, but we also have the King riding along the opposite side. You can see those open walls that we talked about during the base breakdown, how it can be a little bit tricky. This is a good way to try and funnel your troops in. Make sure that you take down some of the structures along the outskirts so you can build that pathing going in, but you need to leave a little bit of meat so the King can take down this Eagle.
He's still got the Stone Slammer, which presumably he wants to use alongside the Dragon Riders, but does he hold on to it a little bit here? I mean, the Queen's got the ability. He should be pretty happy that she's going to get that Town Hall as a minimum, but look at the Royal Champion in the middle, just sneaking in towards that scatter shot to get it down, and she's even going for the multi-target Inferno, although she will not be able to take it down fully.
This is superb, what we're seeing so far. The Stone Slammer coming in, just forcing the Drag Riders along. Queen is just hanging on to that ability for days, and we still have 2 freezes in the back pocket to use, and not too much to worry about. The single would be a good call, but he's got everything swarming through Judo.
Uses the freeze early on to make sure he protects all of the Dragon Riders. Still has the Queen ability. Presumably he's just going to use that to speed up the attack. There's the freeze spell to protect as much as possible. And they have their own dance, just like alternate attacks, celebrating in style. You can see they are in boot camp all together, giving themselves the best opportunity here. And they are taking after their last chance qualifier partners of Tribe Gaming with 3 stars across the board.
This is a powerful start continuing. I can't even say start. We're midway through the attacks for them. They are just going ham right now. I feel like it is the excitement, you know? They're coming in fresh, and this gives them a huge opportunity. Plus, we know that Tompinai is definitely highly streamed and covered, so it kind of gives them a little bit of an advantage here.
I guess it does from that regard, doesn't it? I mean, Aphelion Esports did give away a lot of what they use in the last chance qualifier because they needed to put everything into it. So that was a recent broadcast Tompinai Empire could look at, but also they used such a variety of methods, such a variety of bases in that last chance qualifier that again, it's just very difficult to predict them. And Tompinai Empire, remember, I mean, they're only 1% out of this. So Riak, who is an incredibly experienced player, you might recognize him from the Nova Esports roster last season, transferred across to Tompinai Empire and diving straight in here with the Yeti Blimp.
And he was one of their star hitters, so this is a nice transfer over for them. Now we have that beautiful blimp that not only sets the funnel for this Queen to move into the scattershot compartment, but does double duty by luring out the CC troops, but the Queen's taking on quite a bit of damage here. Does hold on to the ability, though.
Yeah, I think he was trying to just save under that freeze spell, I guess. I mean, you normally use a freeze and a poison when you have the super minions and the headhunters. Didn't even phase him. I don't know if you've seen the face cam across the right-hand side, but stone faced the whole time. Dialed in exactly what you need to be. Now the Archer Queen is nicely going to have the pathing in towards this right-hand side. Hog Riders are something we've not really seen today, Lady B, and the spring traps are crucial when trying to defend this.
They certainly are. Now the Queen will have to start making her way towards this town hall. So we have the jump that's going to help connect this, but I still notice this multi up inside the core of the base. So I'll be curious to see the pathing and placement of the jump, where she can connect it, because he can actually force her along into the multi compartment, but he actually chooses to go straight for the town hall here.
Yeah, just wants to play it safe, I guess, towards that bottom area of the base. And like you said, the multi-target Inferno is interesting, though, because the Hog Riders would be very susceptible in that area. I wonder if he's even sending the Royal Champion. Yeah, looks like he's angling her to maybe help that direction, but I don't think she's going to get that area. So let's just find out.
And I'm looking around for Teslas to see if we might have any cropping up also in the core there, which would just be added damage. I do like the use of the King here on the Eagle compartment, which is very nice. Queen making that connection to the town hall, swiftly taking it down, and still will be able to reserve this ability so she can safely work her way through.
Early warden ability due to all of the gaps around that area, now hitting the giant bombs, but no heal spells for the Hog Riders right now. I've only just realized that. We've got one of them in towards the multi-target Inferno. He's still got the Queen ability, so he's hoping he can get these defenses down with the Hog Riders so that that Queen ability can be used towards the multi, but the King has actually busted into that area.
Oh, that King, I mean, we talk about 200 IQ move there. That King has the moves all day long, working his way through. 25 seconds left to go, and this one is knocked out of the park. Tompinai Empire picking up another 3-star, but they still remain one building behind Aphelion.
They are making sure to keep themselves there, but as long as Aphelion triple out, then they obviously win. Across all of the community tournaments that Aphelion have played recently, they have won 9 out of 10 wars. So an incredible win rate, but obviously they can be defeated. Tompinai Empire had a 13.6 average stars in their qualifier. Well en route for that. Is it going to be enough?
I don't know. I mean, when you're this close, it's gotta be you feel like you can't even be demotivated because you have one building away. You're just hanging on to hope that you will find a defense here. They have to just believe. Let's see what Chalco can do, though. Now, I notice we're seeing a lot more of this with the one Valk.
Yeah.
Since the Yak no longer deals splash damage, we're seeing it a lot more for the King entries to help with any potential skellies. This was something that we saw coming in from alternate attacks just before the World Championships. Starting to see it a lot more. So a pretty big move here. Let's see how the heroes are able to section off, take on the scatter, and work their way towards the Town Hall.
Well, you've perked my curiosity. I've got my eyes on that right-hand side. Whenever the King is diving in towards a tier 1 defense, that is a critical one, the scatter shot. You've seen the skeletons are there to defend, like you said. Able to just take them down super quick so the King can get in towards that scatter. It has lured the clan castle. Barbarians get the scatter shot, and so far looking good, but the Queen needs to loop in towards this town hall.
Now he has set up the funnel. We can see she's got a little bit of meat to work her way in, but she needs to target. She's in the perfect position to get inside this base as the Royal Champion takes a couple more shots and working her way towards the multi. This is some extra value here.
Yeah, just getting bonus damage onto that. He's already got everything he wanted from this side. Archer Queen gets the Town Hall nice and safe, sends in that minion. Why not just start cleaning up as you start the other phase of your attack? And notice the couple of balloons towards that multi-target Inferno. Obviously not enough to get it, but it's all to trap that area. Make sure that any Seeking Air Mines are popped as you've seen to protect the Dragon Riders.
We've got a lot of balloons to come in for support. This is a little bit different from what I've actually seen. 14 loons in the mix to come in for the support, Judo, because we did not have a Queen charge. We had some added value. He did not bring as many Drag Riders and worked his way along the outskirts with the Stone Slammer coming in and providing the tank factor for that scatter shot.
The Dragon Rider Lava Loon, new meta. You have seen it here first in the Clash of Clans World Championship Finals. Look at how many troops he has left over. Dragon Riders, balloons, rocket balloons, 50 seconds. The Barbarian King, whilst he's one of the best air defenses in the game, he can do nothing here. Aphelion Esports not giving Tompinai Empire any opportunity of responding after that 99% 2-star.
Choya absolutely celebrating here, or Joko celebrating here. He is thrilled to carry Aphelion through with perfection so far. This is, I'm speechless, Judo. This is incredible.
I mean, you can seed the teams all of you want. Our 7th and 8th seed in this tournament have not missed a 3-star yet. That is what happens when you have to work all season and just about get that golden ticket at the last moment. Aphelion Esports, one more 3-star, and they have knocked down the number 2 seed of Tompinai Empire.
Oh, this would be a huge legacy for them, coming in for their very first World Championships and knocking down Tompinai Empire. We have dark horse teams that we often talk about, and can you even say Aphelion is a dark horse knowing their performance?
I don't think so. I mean, they won the last chance qualifier convincingly, didn't they? Continuing that momentum. But we've got Al Muala. He was part of that original lineup back in 2019 as well. So he has bags of experience. He is a base builder for Tompinai Empire, and he practices up to 3 hours per day typically. So I'm sure he has upped that a lot moving into towards the finals. Interestingly though, I've not seen him use the Queen Charge Hog Riders very much. Tends to be one of those attackers that does like the Queen Charge Lala.
Yes, and dragons as well. He is definitely an air guy, I would say, so we'll have to see how he handles the ground. Now, I always love the use of these Yeti blimps. We've seen some extra power with the update to them, and it's getting a lot more use now. Easy value to start funneling the Queen into this multi-compartment and shaping up the path to the Town Hall so we can narrow out what the Hogs will need. But we only have that one heal spell, so the Warden ability will need to pick up some huge value, likely near where we have the scatter shot and the Royal Champion.
Yeah, obviously hoping to get big value from the Archer Queen, committing a lot of spells. Notice he used the Wall Breaker a little bit earlier to open up the compartment on the right. That was so that the final Super Wall Breaker did open up access to the Town Hall. Perfect timing on that freeze spell to allow the single to burn up just a little bit, but then freeze it and make sure to reset it. Queen takes it down. She's now on the Town Hall. Doesn't even need to use her ability here.
Does not. Now we see that Warden clipping the Headhunters in because we come right towards the scatter shot, right towards the Royal Champion. We need the Headhunters to take her down. The Hogs secure it, and we have this heal we're reserving for the splash area over the Wizard Tower, leading the Hogs in to ensure they are healed up. Because dead Hogs won't do you any good, you know.
The placement was perfect timing as well, exactly as the Eagle Artillery fire came down. Oh my word, do not let anybody tell you that Hogs are not in the meta. This base is crushed. Tompinai Empire keep their hopes held high with another 3-star out of 4 attacks. They've only missed one of them, which is a 99% 2-star, and yet they trail in this war.
And I feel like that's the disappointment that we're seeing on Amwalen's face here, knowing that as hard as they're pushing, they are still one building away, which is devastating. They are so close to taking down a massive team here. Aphelion, though, just will not let up.
They are just keep going, aren't they? I mean, when we talk to all of the teams, they all say that they've been preparing for bases. So Tompinai Empire, they told us, just like every other team, they have been working tirelessly to build their bases. They've just got to have confidence in getting the defense here, because remember, 99% is about as good as it gets. I mean, it is without getting the 3-star. So the only way that they could not win on percentage is if Aphelion get the 99, Tompinai 3-star, and it goes down to attack time.
Yeah. And we would not see that. Surely we wouldn't see that coming in. But let's see, we got Kazuma. Again, look, we've got the Valkyrie here. We know this can really help out of those sticky situations. It came into good use, but this could be for the perfect. And I notice 5 of those invisibility spells, so we should be coming in with a Blizzard.
Blizzard Dragons, interesting. First one we have seen today, and the Battle Blimp is popped pretty early. There is a giant bomb, but the Wizards will be able to get through that. Another giant bomb will actually wipe them out, and the Eagle Artillery stands in this area. What an amazing start for Rigatores on defense.
Oh, this is a defense they've been waiting for. This means he needs to invest some additional units to take it out, sends in the loots. But this is something that could have been of big importance for the Dragons, because they pick up the traps along the way.
They do. They help to get the defenses down fast, but like you said, are pivotal in any of their seeking air mines. So there's not a lot more he can do but stick to the current plan, using the Super Wall Breaker for the Archer Queen to get in towards the Town Hall. We can see that that will work nicely with the Barbarian King across to the left. Will shape up pathing beautifully for this right-hand side. But is it just going to be too much damage for the Dragons? Uses 1 balloon, obviously, to test, but that is it.
Yeah, that 1 balloon unfortunately not enough for these dragons. Early Warden ability will help get them through the Queen, the scatter shot, but not long enough, and we have the spread out of the multis. Now, while it doesn't do as much damage as a single, it does spread the beams out, and while the dragons are distracted, that's where it can pick up that value when you place storages in front of it. Pathing is not going the way he wants, and we were not able to take down the scatter shot in the back end compartment. This is looking like it's done for Kazuma.
It certainly looks that way, doesn't it? I think that super wall breaker was meant for the king over there as well, so completely missing that area. He's still got a lot of dragons at the moment, but needs to get through this multi where traps are just popping up left, right, and center. I just said he's got a lot of dragons, and they are gone just like that. This is what Tompinai Empire needed. Tell you what, Lady B,
he's got one invisibility.
This is close.
Yeah, this has got one invisibility left.
Lava
He had
Hound on
three.
defense.
Gets the Royal Champion in here, going for the percent, trying to pick up as much as possible. Judo, there is no way we would see that 99% here. Dragon still going, Warden along.
You can't use the Headhunter for cleanup because the Barbarian King is still alive. I can't believe how much he has been able to fix this attack. 95%. The battle timer ticking away, though. Wait a minute. Tompinai Empire had 99. We're on 98. We've still got a few seconds. 99. And he is doing it. 3 stars for Aphelion Esports to win the war against all odds.
This is completely unexpected to lose that value from the start, Judo, and be able to turn this around. Aphelion is just showing that they are the team to watch out for. This World Championship, I think, has found some new leaders in the mix.
Tribe Gaming, Aphelion Esports, Perfect War, the number 7 and 8 seed, and we've got ATN Tompinai Empire, 2 teams that everybody would have had as their favorites. They're in the lower bracket already. I don't know what to say. This is incredible. Exactly what we wanted to see from the finals.
Yeah, they have proven why they belong here. Despite not making it through the qualifiers, they had to fight harder, they had to fight stronger, and they have done that here today. Michael, though, unfortunately knowing that one building difference, I feel like their hopes must have been so up here.
You can see the expression on his face. He is, I mean, how must you feel? Such a good performance. Now he's had to turn buildings invisible to send the Archer Queen in. Obviously with the wall breaker, looked like he wanted the Queen to go in that area, but he's managed to get her to the Town Hall. And I don't know if you remember, but Michael DP was often given the nickname Michael OP back in the day because his Queen charges really are next level.
They certainly are, and we can see the mastery of it, as you pointed out, with keeping that Queen focused on with the invisibility spell. Now the Queen has to contend with the CC troops, but while that's going, we send in the King to keep everything moving, picking up the funnel and taking out the scatter shot.
Again, much like you said earlier on, protecting that tier 1 defense by the scatter shot at the bottom of the base. We have Tesla and we have the skeleton traps as well to try and slow down that King, make sure he doesn't get it. But obviously in this situation, Royal Champion is there as well. We've got the Stone Slammer moving on in towards that single target Inferno. This helps to take everything out on the right hand side of the base and send the Queen back out through the wall break that he made initially.
Interesting, because that's going to force her up along towards the scatter shot. This is a very interesting approach to bring in the Stone Slammer from that bottom side.
It's the single. He missed that single target Inferno, which is huge for Dragon Riders on the back end of the base. He's going to have to finish up on that, try and save some spells.
And not only that, he's going to have the splash coming right at them from the Wizard Tower ahead. He does have the freezes that he's hanging on to, but the Queen has died out. This, unfortunately, stands no chance here, Judo.
Yeah, the Dragon Riders split up, meaning they just don't have that DPS moving through. There's Seeking Air Mines popping off as well. Give Tompinai Empire a break! Michael DP, unfortunately, not able to get this. I guess the silver lining, can you imagine losing out with a 14-star war and a 99% on your other attack? It's a little bit less painful for them, but still, Aphelion Esports, so impressive. People's predictions might be so different after the current matches we've had.
They certainly might be, and this means, Judo, oh my goodness, we get to see ATN going into the bottom, and as you mentioned, Tompinai now, the teams that I think most people were expecting to see, but look at the celebration coming in.